So today you find your friendly neighbourhood rural chaplain well out of his natural habitat and an environment that is unusual to him, but one that we need to be able to interact with and engage with for the future of agriculture in this country. So here I am in a semi-rural Hertfordshire town on the outskirts of London, and the people who live here, they hear a lot of things on their television, on their radio, and read in their newspapers about the harm that farming is doing to the environment. And of course, when you're belching out smoke, and this is fairly early, so the rush hour hasn't got going yet. I'm just on my way to get some milk from a shop, which is obviously, we know that's where milk comes from, isn't it? You walk around here, and after the dry spell we've had and the heat and so on, you begin to see the problems that have been affecting our urban areas. And the reason that perhaps our more urban friends are kind of concerned about global warming. But of course, walking through here this morning, I thought to stop any of these people that are coming towards me now from the local shop, and I thought I'd have a chat with them about the issues of global warming and so on. There'd be absolutely no doubt in my mind, they'd be very clear that agriculture is a big cause of the problem. Because as we know, all those cows belching and doing whatever else they do, natural processes that have been going on for hundreds of years, is causing the problem of pollution, that's causing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and methane in the atmosphere, and it's what's really at the root of all our problems with the environment. See, we all know that the best thing to do if you've got something that's causing you problems is to blame somebody for it. And of course, the last person you're going to blame for it is yourself. There's this thing in Freudian and Jungian psychology, it's called transference. And quite a feature of that is this thing called transference of guilt. It's always best to blame somebody else for things that are going wrong that you've had a big hand in yourself, but it just makes you feel better to blame it on somebody else, doesn't it? And yet, here I am in a lovely little local shop, and as you can see, the milk that comes from cows is completely sold out. But if you want any amount of oat drink or lactose-free, or yeah, all those things, yeah, plenty left. The cow stuff, the cow juice, is still remarkably popular. Now of course, there's an awful lot of discussion at the moment in Wales about planting 10% of every farm with trees, and when land can be often, even in our area, been going around £7,000 to £10,000 an acre, that comes to an awful lot of money coming out of farm budgets to go into the mix. Now, I can't say there's no trees here, because wonderfully, look, there's some really nice ornamental trees here, and that's great. But what we've been asked to do is plant 10% of every Welsh farm with trees, and the urban areas, bless them, are, well, let's have them planted 10% with trees as well. That'd be a cracking good idea, because then you'd have the trees soaking up pollution and turning the old carbon dioxide into oxygen and stuff right where the problem of pollution was occurring. See, like I was saying, it's easier to blame somebody else and try and shift the problem somewhere else, and that is a real strong biblical feature. You find that in the scriptures everywhere. I'm going to get back to that when I'm a little bit nearer my own natural environment. That's better, back where I belong now, sheep and grass and hills. So this big strong biblical theme then that I was talking about, right back in chapter 3 of Genesis, right back at the foundations of it all, you find that there's a tree, and on that tree there's a fruit, and God says, don't eat the fruit of that tree or there'll be consequences. And then he comes into the garden one day, and it's obvious that something has gone wrong, something's changed, and they've been up to no good. And God says to the man, to Adam, what have you been up to? The man said, the woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it. So the Lord God said to the woman, well, what's been going on here? And the woman said, the snake deceived me and I ate. So the Lord God said to the snake, because you've done this, and then there were consequences. God said to Adam, what's this about? The woman you put here, she gave me, he's blamed two other people and tried to shift the blame. So the Lord God said to the woman, and she said, the snake deceived me and I ate. She's blamed one other actor in the whole thing. And then the Lord God said to the snake, because you've done this thing, there's going to be consequences. But before you start getting all sorry for the snake, Adam and Eve both tried to shift the blame, but there were very serious consequences that followed for both of them too. See, Adam and Eve they were both trying to conceal their own fault. And we can all do that. Town dwellers or rural types, we can all do it. Not picking up the responsibility for our responsibility, our fault. And just like Adam and Eve, we can go about blaming one another, you know. Just bear in mind they didn't get away with it. Because Proverbs 28:13 says, whoever conceals their sins doesn't prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. That's my word for the week. God bless you. Have a great week.